I actually know who this is about, and I have the receipts. I was contacted in June by a journalist.
I really know who this is about, and I have the receipts. I was reached in June by a columnist in regards to a video I made about a specific superstar and an end of the week that we shared together. The video was somewhat popular. It's on my page, someplace to go see it. And that specific someone was, as the majority of you will know, Mr. Brand, they won't utilize my story since it didn't fit the story for their narrative, since he was definitely not an old to me. I'm the news. I've gotten two very upsetting letters, or a letter, and an email, one from an established press television organization, one from a paper posting a reiteration of very terrible and forceful assaults, as well as a few pretty dumb stuffs, like on my local area. Celebration ought to be halted, that I ought not be ready to go after traditional press stories on this station. Yet in the midst of this reiteration of shocking, rather florid assaults are a few intense charges that I totally disprove. There's been a ton of stuff happening in Hollywood of late, not beneficial things. And it appears as though it's simply deteriorating. As of late, a greater amount of the Hollywood elites have been associated with a few pretty sickening claims. Batman is Russell Brand. Clearly here's a lot to express about the obscure things happening in Hollywood. And when he attempts to shout out about it, enormous names in the business are approaching to image him and paint his standing so nobody accepts him, trusting that individuals excuse his actual textual styles. And a ton of people feel that this is a scheme around his name, so the Hollywood elites can quietness him and shift the consideration from them to Russell. Now, before we get into it, ensure you offer the video a go-ahead and buy-in so you never pass up any new recordings. It's free and assists us with bringing out new. Satisfied for your pleasure, the London Met Police authoritatively affirmed that they have gotten a report concerning ongoing claims twirling around Russell Brand. Now, in the event that you missed it throughout the end of the week, the Times, the Sunday Times, and Feed 4 Dispatches collaborated for an examination during which four ladies blamed the comic entertainer network program host of some really difficult stuff: assault, rape, and psychological mistreatment. Russell Brand has eagerly denied these claims in light of this. Scotland Yard, the renowned Central Command of London's, best given an assertion, saying, "No doubt we caught wind of what the Sunday Times and Station 4 are saying in regards to these supposed mischievous." Follows up on Sunday, September 17th. "We got a report of a rape guarantee coming from a Soho hoedown back in 2003. Our officials are as of now chatting with the lady in question and giving her all the help she wants." Scotland Yard has additionally taken things up a score by saying, "We've contacted the Sunday Times on Saturday, September 16th, and we're moving the discussion along with them and Station 4. We want to ensure that any individual who figures they may be a survivor of a sexual offense knows to connect with the police. We're here to help regardless of how quite a while in the past it happened." One lady has approached guaranteeing that Russell Brand assaulted her at his Los Angeles home. One more affirmed that he prepped her during what she depicted as a genuinely harmful and controlling relationship that endured 3 months when she was only 16 years of age. He was 31. The third informer expressed that Russell Brand physically attacked her while they were cooperating in Los Angeles. She further referenced that he compromised legitimate activity if she truly felt compelled to unveil her charge to any other individual. And the fourth comment, a nerve-wracking record of what they say was a sexual, physical, and psychological mistreatment that they persevered through. Now, before the Times dropped their stunner report, Brand took to YouTube and laid everything out. He firmly denied claims, contending that the charges were essential for what he saw as a serious, purposeful plan to control specific spaces like his internet-based stage, as would be natural for him. I've gotten two very upsetting letters, or a letter, and an email, one from an established press television organization, one from a paper posting a reiteration of incredibly grievous and forceful assaults, as well as a few pretty dumb stuffs like my local area. Celebration ought to be halted, that I ought not be ready to go after established press stories on this station. Yet in the midst of this reiteration of surprising, rather a stone assaults are a few intense charges that I totally disprove, so it appears. As though the lines have been drawn, yet this present circumstance is exceptionally distant from being a straightforward situation. Yet individuals online are seeing directly through these charges. One individual tweeted Russell Brand begins to uncover any semblance of BlackRock Vanguard, and so on, and out of nowhere unexpected, there are serious charges made against him. Doesn't take a technical genius to see what's going on here. He's gone at the top, and they've begun the framework assault, such a fundamental playbook, the fallout of this hazardous uncover on Russell Brand, which hit titles on September 16th, has caused a remarkable, gradually expanding influence. The BBC station 4 and Expella UK, all spots where Grain left his imprint at various times, particularly during the period where these claims are said to have occurred, have chosen to play criminal investigator to in an email shipped off their staff station for the organization, where Brand's shot to distinction, facilitating elder siblings' motor mouth, is turning Sherlock Holmes and exploring whether anybody inside their positions has any suspicion of these supposed wrongdoings. One individual, the company proof that it's all misleads, shut him up, that tweeted stunning a lady says she was reached by a columnist to examine a supposed rape by Russell Brand anyway. In light of the fact that she gave bogus criticism about him, the traditional press did exclude her in the hair-raising archive Tree Watch. I truly know who this is about. And I have the receipts. I was reached in June by a writer in regards to a video I made about a specific big name, and an end of the week that we shared together. The video was somewhat popular. It's on my page someplace, if you have any desire to go see it. And that specific someone was, as a large portion of you will know, Mr. Brand. One more added, the press will gobble up any claim made towards a man who was uncovering them. Russell Brand is that man right now. Consider the possibility that there's an outrage, including companions of the press like Hugh Edwards or Philip Schofield. Gracious them, they've disregarded them. This next individual said that Russell was uncovering Hollywood, as well as other colossal enterprises as well. And that is the reason he's being designated. They said Russell Brand dropped a few realities on Bill Mayer's show about enormous pharma, the military, modern mind-boggling. And the financial business was this. When they concluded, he should have been brought down. Yet at this point, nobody knows without a doubt what's truly happening. And that is not even every last bit of it. Erases are no uncovering additional stuff from quite a while ago. So we should bring you through a world of fond memories with regards to Russell Brand. He's 48 years of age and made himself in parody. He was brought into the world in Essex and burst out of the scene as the host of older siblings' loudmouth, and surprisingly began a few quite large Hollywood flicks. In addition to, he had that hurricane marriage and separation with one of the world's most renowned pop stars. Yet he's not everything simply Snickers. Russell Brand is known for blending the pot with his extremely one-of-a-kind interpretation of legislative issues and society. And of late he's been jumping into paranoid fears on YouTube and Thunder, giving us some genuine something worth mulling over. Yet rewind to the year 2000, when he was only a professional comic telling wisecracks at the Hackney realm, and later shaking the Edinburgh periphery. He's forever been open about his wild days, including his utilization of unlawful substances, and a skill for an extremely dynamic love life. He spilled every one of the succulent subtleties in his self-portrayal My Bookie work. And these encounters got a fire going under his political activism. Russell Brand is one to avoid focusing on the big cheeses. Back in 2008, while facilitating the MTV Music Video Grants, he proposed with some scissors. Then in 2013, he made a remarkable exit from the GQ grants when he freely condemned the occasion's support Hugo manager. I realized that Hugo manager made the regalia for the Nazis, yet in the Nazis had blemishes. Yet you realize they looked phenomenal. Can we just be real? After a concise break from the wireless transmission suite, got back to radio in 2017 with an end-of-the-week show on Radio X, previously XFM. Yet that adventure was fleeting as of late, particularly starting from the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. In 2020, Rand has followed a totally different way he extended his internet-based presence and built up some momentum on YouTube, where he plunges into paranoid notions encompassing the sickness. Currently, he has a really significant following of around 4 million on Instagram, 2.2 million on TikTok, and an astounding 6.59 million on YouTube. He's been covering a wide range of subjects. Recordings named to these messages demonstrate Biden is bad and lying what truly lit the Hawaii fires. And this is what orientation standards are meaning for men. Russel Brand's process has taken him from satire to radio, and presently the computerized world. And he's never been reluctant to mix the pot and offer his exceptionally extraordinary viewpoint. And the elites are not cherishing it. Individuals are really